How's it going, guys? My name is James Ninja, and today I'm bringing you guys the first episode of Summoner School. This is AD Carry 101. I'm going to be going through basic lane phase for AD Carry. Episode 2 is probably going to be up next Friday. You're going to be looking at late game, mid game team fights for AD Carry in the next episode. But this one, we're going to focus on in lane last hitting, harassing, taking down towers, accepting ganks, getting ganked, everything about lane phase that I can possibly come up with myself. And if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I can address them at the beginning of the next video. Let's get into runes and masteries that I use when I AD carry. So for runes, you're going to see on the screen here that I use attack damage reds and quints with armor yellows and magic resist blues. You can opt for armor pen reds or quints with attack damage of whatever you don't use. I prefer the flat ADs, helps me last hit. My last hitting is good, but with the armor pen I don't get the last hits aren't quite as good. So I try and run the flat ADs. That's just my personal preference. Everyone's different. Moving on to masteries, you're going to run the same masteries for your AD carry page no matter what. You're going to be 21. Some people will go 2109. I do 2119 or 2109. I change it every once in a while. The extra 2 points in armor and defense doesn't really do that much, but I don't need any extra gold. I don't really need the extra buffs. That's basically that. Masteries are super simple. Now we're going to go over some AD carry and some support synergies. So as you can see here on this little diagram, you have AD carries and supports that they are good with and good against. As you can see, Ezreal works well with Sona, Lux, Lulu, and Ezreal also works well against Ateric, Sona, Soraka. Again, Corki's good with Leona, Sona, Blitz. Corki is good against Sona, Fiddle, Blitz. Draven works well with Taric, Lulu, Alistar. He works well against Zyra, Blitz, Fiddle. Its synergy isn't super important. Any AD carry can go with just about any support, but you can optimize yourself for your AD carry or your support. Links in the description for where I got this image. You can check it out. You guys can check for yourself. There's more synergies. You can look on the forums. Let's move into some gameplay. So the first thing I want you guys to take a look at is watch my last hitting. Now, what is last hitting? Most of you should know, but a last hit is when you get the kill on the minion or the creep. To secure it, you get gold for every creep that you kill with your attacks. As Ezreal, farming with your Q is viable at long distances. All you gotta do is let your minions and their minions duke it out right in the center of the lane. That's called freezing the lane. So the lane is stuck there right now. And what you want to do is you want to wait till the minions are as low as you can get them. Watch, I'll start my last hitting right here. See that? That's my first creep and my second creep. Then you'll see those two caster minions are focusing that physical minion. I'll wait for that one to get low because it's being damaged the most by my minions. Get that creep. Then I move on to the next one that's getting focused. Kill that one. Get the next gold. Check the next one that's getting focused. I'm going to aim for that one because it's going to get lowest first, and so on and so forth down the line. Once in a while, you're going to miss a CS as some champs. Some champs don't have the ability to CS as fast as Ezreal, because if you're Ezreal, you can throw a Q at one minion and then just move directly to your side and auto-attack the next one. As you can see, their Kog'Maw's doing it too. He's getting all the last hits he can, while both of our supports are maintaining bush control. What's bush control? Bush control is controlling those two brushes. Why is that important? Well, if you don't have vision in the other brush, or in the brush that's right beside you, your opponent is able to either overtake your brush, which is going to force you back away from creeps, or they could launch an attack from their brush. As you can see, we've warded their side and Taric has warded ours. Both supports are trying to get a little poke in. My Lulu's doing a pretty good job of keeping Taric back, and he throws a couple glitter lances towards Kog'Maw too. It works out well. This is a really passive lane. I picked this one because it's super passive and super, super farmy. We get so much farm. I actually make my perfect farm goals. What are my farm goals? So, if you're new to the AD carry, you're just picking it up for the first time, you're just learning how to do it, don't expect to be picking up the kind of farm I'm doing this game. I would be very impressed if you could just pick up AD carry and start farming like this. I've been playing AD carry, well, I mean, I play the game 3 or 4 hours a day, maybe more. I've been playing AD carry hard. I've been trying to learn it really well for the last 2 months or so. My goal by the 13-minute mark is about 100 CS. That's pretty hard to accomplish if you're new to it, so take it slow, play in bots, do your best to farm, and slowly get better and better at it. You'll learn through watching me do it here, and then you just need to keep trying to apply these skills. So, as a support, you can see Tarek was just starting to try and take bush control from us. Our Lulu's backed off a little bit, or was, and you can see Tarek's trying to come up now that their lane is pushing. So I'm going to try and counter push to keep the lane frozen in the middle by attacking the minions just a little bit more, because he's attacking them a little bit more. Now, as you can see, we're frozen in the middle. That's just where you want it to be. Why is that where you want to be? Well, that stops bush control from being a huge factor in you getting creeps, because you want to farm. You don't want them to be pushing you away or zoning you. Zoning is when you cannot get to the creeps that you're trying to kill. They've zoned you out of that area. As you can see, we just had a little bit of a fight. We came out on top there. Their support got really hurt. Their AD carry took some damage too. So, with that said, we're going to try and start zoning them. But, as you can see, they have bush control, making my CSing a little bit harder. When I say CSing, I mean getting creeps. So, we try and take back bush control is what we want to do next. That's our next move. Now that our support's full health, I'm healing up. Tarek's looking a little passive. We do have that bush warded, so I know I'm safe to grab the creeps that are closest, the ones that are in my attack range, but I couldn't move up to close to where Tarek is. Lulu starts pushing him out. We go back to frozen lane. That's what you want. You want to farm, farm, farm. When you think about it, so let's say a kill is 300 gold. Each creep is about 20 gold. Therefore, 15 creeps is the equivalent to a kill, and you don't get kills that fast. So farm is super important. While you're in lane, what you want to do is you want to watch for incoming ganks, and you want to watch for enemy ganks. Frozen lanes in the middle is what you want because the enemy has a hard time ganking, but your jungler also has a hard time ganking. Depending on what side you're on or how far you're pushed, there are different types of ganks that can be done. So I'm going to pull up a large picture of the mini-map here and show you what you can do. As you can see, each side has a tri-bush. If you're purple side on this map here, purple or red, depending on if you have colorblind mode on or not, tri-bush ganks don't make very much sense for the enemy jungler because they'd have to walk right past your tower to do it. Tri-bush is different from the blue side. The blue side tri-bush is not past the tower. Why is this like that? If you look at the mini-map, the map is basically a mirror flip. Up on top, the blue side has the tri-bush behind the tower, just like the purple side has it in bot lane. So, both of those lanes have the ability to gank from tri. Let's talk about a lane gank. What is a lane gank? Well, I've shown you the paths that team's jungler will take for a lane gank. Purple team's jungler will come from the purple team tri-brush or from the purple team bottom lane and come straight down in through the bottom side bushes. Now, when is this possible? This is only possible if purple team is pushed up past those bottom side bushes so that blue team does not see the purple team's jungler enter the brush. If they're pushed up far enough, the purple team's jungler can even go into the second bottom brush, which is on the blue side of the map, and wait for blue team to push out a little bit more and surprise them by coming out of the brush. The same can be said from the blue side with the blue side's jungler attacking the purple team. The blue side's jungler can come around where the red line is from the tri-bush up into the bottom side bush, or can come around from behind the tower. Same idea. Generally, not the most successful type of gank, but works very well in some situations. Now, for the river gank, as you can see here, these are the paths the enemy junglers can take. If, let's say, purple team has overextended and they're a little bit past the river, blue team's jungler will come down and gank behind them right from the river. Or, if blue team is overextended and up towards purple team's tower, purple team's jungler will come down right behind the blue team. That's your normal gank. That's probably the most common kind of gank and is easily countered by wards, which I'll go over in the support video. Next, we'll move on to the tri-bush gank. The tri-bush is the one bush with loads of arrows in it. It's the bush that you're going to see most ganks come from, especially if you are purple team. It's more effective than the river gank because most of the time you won't have to come from the river, which is usually warded. The tri-bush will get warded if there's lots of ganks coming from the tri-bush, but early on it's a good, safe place to assume ganks are going to come from. Let's say you're playing as purple team and you're shoved up under blue team's tower. What's blue team's jungler going to do? He's going to come from the red buff camp area, and especially if you're right under the tower, he's going to come way around the river, which you'll likely have warded, but by the time you see him, you're way under the tower, you don't really have anywhere to go. So he's going to come around behind you, you're stuck between a tower and the enemy jungler, which is why it's the most effective gank, because then you're 3v2 and you're sandwiched. That's why warding the tri-bush or not overextending is super important. The other tri-bush option is, let's say the blue team's jungler just finished counter jungling up in purple team's blue buff, and he sees that purple team's AD carry and support is way up under the tower, but might be retreating shortly. Let's say he knows river is warded, he comes down into the tri-bush, and purple team starts to back off. He sits in the tri-bush for a second and waits. Purple team says, oh, he was just going back into his jungle, and goes right back to pushing up under the tower. Blue team can then come back around behind you again, or if he suspects your river ward will catch him too early, he can come straight down from the tri-bush in between the tower and river area there. That works well if you are a jungler that can close the distance, and that's another gank you want to watch out for. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, if you are blue team and you're pushing up towards red team's tower, red team's jungler can enter the top of the enemy side jungle, the top of the blue side jungle, near the mid lane there, up at the very top left-hand corner of your screen, and come right down to where that red line starts. 90% of the time, you won't get noticed unless the blue team jungler happens to be at race. He will come down and follow that red arrow right out into the enemy team and will attack you. Again, you're sandwiched there. Even more optimally is the red team's jungler will come down, and I didn't put an arrow there, but as you can see where the blue arrow comes down by the blue tower, go right down through there and up towards you. Sometimes that one won't happen because that will leave you, as the blue team shoved up towards the purple tower, the option to escape through river. You can run up through the river and escape that gank sometimes, but you have to be careful for mid coming down to attack you as well. That tri-bush gank is kind of difficult to describe without having video to correspond with it. I'll try and get video up at the beginning of the next video for that so you can really get definition. Leave me a comment if you didn't quite understand that, and I promise I'll clear it up for you at the beginning of the next AD carry video next Friday. And now we're going to move on to itemization and what you're building in lane as an AD carry. What do you build on your AD carry? Well, that depends on how well your lane is doing. Let's say you're up 2 or 3 kills and you're out farming the enemy AD carry because you've zoned them because you're so strong. You want to rush your power items first. your boots and your bloodthirster, your infinity edge, things of that nature. Let's say you're losing lane or you have a very even lane. You might opt to buy 2 Doran's blades first, because what does a Doran's blade give you? It gives you health, gives you more lane presence with that health. You won't die as easily. It gives you attack damage, so you're putting out more damage, and it gives you a small percentile of lifesteal. 3% lifesteal might not sound like much, but when you have 2 Doran's blades and a vampiric scepter, 16% lifesteal will keep you in lane and CSing longer and help you sustain through those team fights. If you're really, really losing lane, all you can do, buy 2 Dorans and then start working your other items. GP10 isn't very viable on the AD carry. I've never done it personally. You could do it if you really wanted to. Now, when accepting a gank, and let's say your AD carry, your support is low, maybe you want to bait them in. You see your jungler coming down? What you want to do is you want to stick whoever's low, you want them to poke their head out just a little bit. Give the enemy team that feeling of, I can grab that kill is mine. Get them to come in, overextend, then let your jungler come in and help you clean up. That's a really good gank, and I would suggest doing it if you're comfortable with either yourself when you're at low health, or if your support is comfortable with it, or even like Lulu here. Lulu has her ult. If she's low, you'll see later, she baits them in, then ults herself to keep herself alive, gives her a big heal and some extra tankiness, and our jungler and I am able to clean up. It works really well. Other things for AD carry is pushing the tower. When do you want to take the enemy tower? When do you want the enemy to take your tower? Optimally, you don't want the enemy team to take your tower ever, but that's assuming you're winning lane. If you're losing out lane really hard, you're just not getting your creeps, you're not getting kills, you can't farm anything, letting the enemy team take your tower sounds like a bad idea, right? Give them that extra 150 gold? Wrong. You might want them to take that tower because then their creeps are going to push up past your tower into a safe zone where the enemy team doesn't want to overextend because there's big gank potential there. Then you can free farm all those creeps instead of getting super zoned out. Same goes the other way. You're winning lane really hard, you don't want to take the enemy tower and give them that free farm. You want to force them to keep coming back to lane to get beat up, killed, zoned, so you take a firm lead and you transition that into mid game really powerful. That's really when you want to do towers. If you have an even lane, just keep farming until other lanes are finally starting to leave and roam. Then you're going to want to push the enemy tower down so you can roam with your team. I talked about CS. Optimally, 150 at 20 minutes is what you want to aim for, because at 20 minutes, lane phase should be over, and you should be getting into the mid-game team fights and just farming other lanes when they get pushed up. If the enemy team's pushing hard, and let's say your jungler's just not with you that game, he's not coming to gank, it's whatever, you're stuck farming under your tower. How do you farm under the tower? Seems a little difficult, right? You have that tower dishing out big damage. What you want to do optimally is the little physical minions. They can take 2 tower hits and then 1 auto attack. You can do that at level 1 and you'll get every single creep. 2 tower hits, 1 auto attack will do it. Caster minions are a completely different story. They can be a bit of a pain, but if you and your support know what you're doing, you can get all the creeps under a tower. Before you hit about level 6, here's what you want to do for caster minions. The caster minions will take 1 tower hit, and if you auto attack, they will not die. If they take that next tower hit, tower takes the kill. What you want to do is, as soon as you get under that tower, if they have any full health caster minions, get your support to auto attack it once. If you auto attack it once, you could take it too low. So get your support, auto attack each caster minion 1 time, let the turret hit it 1 time, and that CS is yours. Once you hit level 6, Let the tower hit the caster minion once, then you can auto attack and take it. What you're about to see is the first fight in bot lane, the entire match. You're going to see I get a kill here and my support lives. It's kind of a support bait with the Lulu ult. Let's take a look. I'll do my best to give you a nice explanation. So Kog'Maw comes in, he gets a little aggressive, my support takes some damage, he thinks he can get it. Lulu pops her ult, gets that extra burst, leaving me alone to take out Kog'Maw while he was focusing my support Lulu. Perfect execution, got us the kill. Lane phase is coming to a close in this game, so that means this video is also coming to a close. I do die here, and it's because I make the mistake. That Taric is maintaining the brush, I didn't even check it, and it's going to be my demise. I get stunned, Shyvana comes in, I believe she ults as well. My Shen ults me from top lane, but gets CC'd. The shield keeps me alive, but Shen doesn't get down there. Unfortunately, I make the mistake of not recalling because my Katarina comes in, and Shyvana backs off. I'm feeling safe because I know Kog'Maw is just going to be walking back to lane after I killed him. I'm feeling like I can lifesteal it. I have the Vampiric Scepter with the Phage and Doran's Blade. I feel like I have the damage to lifesteal back up. Again, no bush control on their side. Shyvana's sitting there waiting for me. That's what I didn't know, and that's going to be the mistake that ends our lane phase. Pretty much when you want it to end anyways. I believe mid tower was down, or almost down. Yeah, their mid tower was down at this point. So it's fine. Lane phase comes to an end. I won the lane phase. I died once, he died once, but I out-farmed him. You'll see the farm in the end. You can see it right here. I was 137. He had less than that. Here I'm running quickly back to lane. I recalled, and then you'll see this fight. We didn't know Vigor was coming down. Katarina engages, her ult doesn't do much damage. I get caught in the Vigor combo and I get turned to dust. I cut the rest of the video because they just push to win the lane. They kill the tower, and that's going to be the end of the lane phase AD carry video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Next Friday is going to be the mid-game team fight AD carry video. Leave me comments if you have questions about something that happened during the video, something you want me to explain better. I'll start it at the beginning of the next video. It means a lot with your comments, feedback. I promise next video is going to be even more polished. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. My name is James Ninja, and check out this outro. So that's the video. Here's two videos you might have missed on my channel recently. The first one there is just a general update video on why I wasn't posting, what's going on now, what you're going to see in the future. The second video is a PvP pentakill I got about a week ago when this video, 2 weeks ago when this video comes up. Dude is Tristana, it's my second PvP penta ever. It's really cool. Pentakills feel awesome if you've ever had one in PvP. If you like the video, you want more, you want to learn more about League of Legends, or you just like to hear me talk, you can subscribe up in the top right hand corner and right in the bottom there. If you want to stalk me on Twitter, you can do that right at that link. Thank you guys once more for watching. I'll talk to you guys in the next video.